This industry had become a series of followers looking at each other and copying what they did and trying to be cool. So we simply took 6 competitor ads and pasted them up on a wall and blocked out the logos. When we looked at that, they could have all been from the exact same brand.
Wow.
We realized this is our opportunity because everyone's doing the same thing and they all look exactly the same. It was a reminder that part of what distinguished Columbia was poking the bear and being different and not being unafraid to be weird and irreverent and funny and poke at ourselves.
If you look at the marketing landscape for outdoor brands right now, you might notice a trend. It's often serious, intense, and focused on conquering the impossible. It's what marketers call a sea of sameness. But does going outside always have to be so serious? Today's guest is betting that the answer is no. Matt Sutton is the Senior Vice President and Global Head of Marketing at Columbia Sportswear. He's leading the brand through its first major relaunch in a decade, moving away from the intimidation factor and leading into humor, irreverence, and the sheer joy of being outdoors. We talk about how Columbia is using its history of resilience to engineer gear for the future and why they're partnering with everyone from the U.S. curling team to Robert Irwin to tell their story. I'm Leslie Blunt, and this is Campaign Chemistry. Matt, first of all, thank you so much for joining us today. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So you guys just got through the holiday season. Any fun things that you did?
Well, we had our first major global relaunch of our brand in over a decade and all kinds of change. So I hibernated over the holidays. We got past Cyber 12 and the big sales moment, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all of that, surprise Saturday. So yeah, just hanging low. Tried to get a little bit of skiing in. The Pacific Northwest is really dry right now. So not as much of the snow outdoor part of the season yet, but we're hoping for it. How about you?
I mean, listen, we've had plenty of snow over here, more than we would. It's wild because I'm a lady of a certain age. So I remember us having like insane snow days here in New York. And so the fact that we're actually getting legit snow days now, it's not as extreme as it used to be, but it's also like we haven't had this kind of snow in a while, and this kind of weather. It's like, oh, we're back to this now.
I know. I grew up on the East Coast, and it's bizarre how much it's changed just in 20 years.
Yeah, it's really kind of insane, but like also it's been beautiful. So it looks like postcard perfect when that fresh snow falls. I love it. And, more of that for you guys because you do a lot of skiing over there.
Yeah. And we sell a few jackets too. So.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And we're going to talk about that. So also you just mentioned that, you did a brand relaunch. So let's talk about that. And then also give us a little bit of a history of Columbia Sportswear.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I'm a 3rd generation Columbia customer, and I didn't even fully know the story of Columbia until a few years ago. And, Columbia is in its 88th year, was founded in 1938, and it was founded by, my boss, Joe Boyle, his grandmother's family. She came from Nazi Germany and escaped to the U.S. with her family when she was a kid. And they came to Portland, Oregon, and her father started Columbia Hat Company, named after the river here in Portland. And they took a brand that was just a hat company and started doing outerwear and turned that into a global $4 billion brand. And they had a crazy story because when Tim Boyle, Gert Boyle's son, was in college, Gert's husband passed away. And so he was 19 years old and he dropped out of school. He dropped out of the University of Oregon and to help his mother run the business. And at that time, they were really struggling and they were actually in debt. And the two of them, mother and son dynamic duo, turned the company around and turned it into a multi-billion-dollar brand. So it's a most incredible story. I mean, just the heritage of, coming to America and then a mother and son turning it into something amazing. And then they became icons in themselves. Gert Boyle was, famous as One Tough Mother. And so we have a history of really iconic advertising. Mm-hmm. And as Gert became less and less a part of the brand before she passed away in 2019, the brand kind of didn't have a North Star. And so they took, a lot of care and time in thinking about how they wanted to create the future of the brand. And this moment, this fall, in August 4th, when we launched our new platform, is that moment where they put a stake in the ground and said, this is who we want to be for the next 88 years, wow. or certainly the next few decades. So it's been a long time coming, and it's a big, big moment for us.
Wow. So, you've got tough people who started a company that's got, tough products engineered for whatever.
Indeed.
So talk to us about this relaunch, and this campaign has been so much fun to watch because I cover the creative, and so the engineer for whatever the spot. So basically people being outdoors, and you think everything's peaceful and it's beautiful, and then all sorts of chaos ensues. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, what you said there is getting close to what the insight for the brief was, which is we looked out at the past 20 years of the outdoor category and of apparel and of sportswear and everything in general. And what we found is that this industry had become a series of followers looking at each other and copying what they did, and trying to be cool. And so we simply took 6 competitor ads and pasted them up on a wall and blocked out the logos. And when we looked at that, they could have all been from the exact same brand.
Wow.
Picturesque, perfect weather conditions, beautiful mountains, very serious models and serene hikes. And we realized this is our opportunity because everyone's doing the same thing and they all look exactly the same. And it was a reminder that part of what distinguished Columbia was poking the bear and being different and not being unafraid to be weird and irreverent and funny and poke at ourselves, right? And poke at our category. And so that was an insight that led to the brief with our agency, Adam and Eve, TBWA. And we spent, over a year creating a campaign with them, engineered for whatever. The idea there being, we have a history of, homegrown technology, of engineering our own technology. It's a huge thing that a lot of people don't know about Columbia, but most of this category has licensed technology. We build most of our innovative technology. And so the insight was that we engineer products for the most extreme situations, because if we can demonstrate that they're great for summiting a mountain or going into some crazy situation like being rolled in a snowball down a hill.
Today, we're testing the thermal properties of the Columbia Omni Heat Jacket. It'll keep you warm in a snowball fight. But what about in a snowball?
You okay?
Yeah.
Then they're the best thing for the everyday situation. So engineered for whatever. And so it's really about demonstrating that we help people with whatever Mother Nature throws at them. And we're just having a lot of fun with exploring that and the humor around that to do something different.
Yeah, the giant snowball was hilarious, and the human snowplow also a moment.
Let's check in on our test subject. Physically warm, mentally fried. Columbia, engineered for whatever.
He's like, I'm fine. He's not fine. He's lying. It's so good. Oh my God.
They were warm, but they were a little traumatized.
Just a little bit, just a skosh. And speaking of poking the bear, love your LinkedIn profile picture.
We did something funny. I mean, one of our tenets in being human and authentic is that all of the spots that you've seen there's no AI. It's real shot. Like, we actually pushed a stunt woman down a black diamond ski slope in a giant snowball. We actually did hoist a stunt person via their pants over a lagoon from a helicopter. Those things were real. But when the campaign launched, we thought, hey, what's a way that we could bring this to life for our employees and the employee base in a fun way that takes the tonality of the campaign? And so we came up with these AI headshots. And we actually created a viral moment just with our employee base of reaching over 200,000 people just by people changing their profile pictures to, wacky moments where they're in extreme environments. So we had a little fun with that.
Amazing. Amazing. Now, the Grim Reaper one, because you were talking about the fun that you were having and that you didn't use AI. So, like, how did you come up with that one, the Halloween, and then like the jacket that will outlive you? That's not the only jacket that will ostensibly outlive us, but talk to us about that campaign and the response for that one as well.
Yeah, for sure. So we launched in August, and we launched with the advertising campaign that you saw. And those are really, if we boil it down to what this made this brand famous, it was irreverent test of our product. Ger Poyle put her son through a car wash wearing one of our jackets. And in the 90s, and that was one of our favorite ads. And so we brought back that spirit through this drumbeat of ads and product tests that we're going to be doing ongoing. In addition to that, one of the things that we were so excited to work with Adam and Eve on was this idea of the two-pronged approach of modern brand building, which is, yes, changing perception and communications from the brand, but also joining conversation and spurring conversation around the brand. And so we also started in October with Death Wishes, another series of drum beats of earned media stunts. In this case, Death Wishes was this idea and sort of this insight that we have customers that email us every week. We have a few email boxes. They're incredible. They're just like pictures of their teenage kid looking very fly in one of our jackets from the 80s that they pass down to them, right? And I mean, every week we get an email from a customer being like, I've had your jacket for 25 years. Like, I can't believe it's still, here's. And so the insight there was we have this incredible quality that we're known for. And we do survey and poll, very strongly from a perception standpoint in quality. So how do we talk about that in a way that's not the same canned story of quality that is expected in our category, right? And so Adam and Eve had this idea of creating Death Wishes, which is a jacket that outlives you. And so
with a Will and Testament stitch in.
Yes. So we actually had a real executable will sewn into over 100 of our jackets. Our powder keg, which is one of our longest and most iconic interchange jackets. And we sent those out to influencers and to other folks so that if they're in an extreme Mother Nature situation and something unexpected happens, they can pass the jacket to their next of kin. And in the spirit of this campaign, we brought back a character from our launch video, which was the Grim Reaper. In the original ad, the Grim Reaper is seen chasing someone, a trail runner in the desert. And so the Grim Reaper makes a reappearance, and this time is following the people who have the death wishes jackets. And so it was one of those things where it towed the line of wacky and crazy and ridiculous. But we felt it worked really well around Halloween and just a way to hijack that holiday.
Nice. I feel like you also have like a little potential campaign brewing with all of your customers sending over their photos and stuff of, the new generation wearing their old gear.
Oh yeah. That could be a campaign in itself. And is something that we're thinking about.
Campaign loading. You can have that one for free. Okay. And then also, speaking of the Boyles, your CEO, Tim Boyle, recently did a very funny, like you guys have just been killing it lately, the funny Flat Earther challenge video where he was offering the company to anyone who can prove that the Earth is flat.
Hi, I'm Tim Boyle. I'm the CEO here at Columbia Sportswear. And this message is for Flat Earthers. You guys claim there's an end to the Earth? Well, just go snap a picture. Send it to us, and you get the assets of the company. All of it. No paperwork, no lawyers, no catches.
Tim, there is some paperwork.
Well, first of all, one of the things that I have to say about this brand, and one of the things that I love about it, is this is a brand that was built by iconic marketers and trailblazers and bear pokers. And so in many cases, including with Expedition Impossible, it actually, it was not, are we going too far? It was, are we going far enough? And so, this, I love this idea because it was an opportunity for us to poke at the idea of the flat earthers and flat earth society, but do it in a way that was funny and the right tone. And, the idea that anyone, like we support anyone who wants to go outside and enjoy the outdoors. And if you do that, especially if you're trying to reach the edge of the earth, you need the best gear to get there, because ostensibly you're going to hit some pretty extreme environments. And so it was just a funny off the cuff way of saying, look, we're going to put our money where our mouth is. We took out a full page ad in the New York Times where Tim Boyle said, I'm giving away everything owned by the company to the first person that can prove that the earth is flat. And it's an intentional way of trying to get that community to respond, because we want them to participate. And we just had a lot of fun with it. We had, made a little video, which was in our office with some of our employees. And it's just a fun way to keep the conversation going. And it's still tied back to going outdoors and having an adventure outside.
Yeah. What's been the response to that?
Oh my gosh. I mean, we all thought it was a fun idea, but I think it has blown away what we thought. We've had thousands and thousands of comments and posts online about it. We have active, like 4 or 5 multi-hundred threaded comment threads on Reddit, including like r/not the onion, and then some actual flat earth Reddit threads. We've had several phone calls into customer service with people passionately arguing for over 20 minutes about why the earth is flat and claiming that they can prove it. We've had YouTubers in Europe and Latin America posting videos about it. And we've had hundreds of submissions of evidence that the earth is flat, none of which have been accurate evidence yet. But it's hilarious. And, there is a lot of passion about it. And it's just really fun.
I can only imagine. And God bless your customer service agents. Yes. I'm sure they've been dealing with a lot. Hopefully you guys have mental health services for them. And also I'm really curious because it's been mentioned in your ads, before, like the warning, and it's like, our insurance. I need to know the insurance people. Your insurance company is probably having a field day with this. Talk to me about how you get all of these things cleared, especially the snowball, the snowplow, Tim offering up the company.
Well, I will say the core of the meat of the campaign with those product tests, those 30-second ads where we're testing our products in extreme environments. Those were challenging in modern day environment to actually do. I think a lot of times they're fake or they're using CGI. And so just some funny anecdotes is for the ad where we were testing the stretchiness and the strength of our pants, our rock pant. We shot that ad in Croatia, and in Europe, there's this permit called a human cargo level 2 permit that we had to get so that we could actually hoist the stunt person from a helicopter over a canyon. And that was up until the day of, we almost did not get the approvals that we needed to do that. And we did kind of in the 11th hour, which thank goodness. And we also had to, in our lab here in Portland, using those pants, which I'm wearing, they're these really strong, stretchy pants. They're super comfortable. We had to prove with weights that the pants could support human weight hoisted before we actually hoisted it. And so it turns out that the pants can hold 252.5 pounds without any kind of fraying.
Well, that's a relief.
I mean, it's crazy. So to answer your question, yes, there was a lot of paperwork and insurance work, and I've become very close with our legal team, and I think they love and hate this. But no, the great thing is, like, you start early on. And you're like, this is what we want to do, and you work on it over a long period of time, and then you can get to it. But so they were great, but it's been a bit of a headache for them.
Well, yeah. So I mean, that kind of flows into the challenges of marketing in a category like this. So there's that. But what other challenges have you faced so far in your role, which you've been in almost a year and a half?
Yeah. Soon to be a year and a half. Time flies. Maybe the next 18 months I'll get a little bit more sleep, but no, I think one challenge would be being as bold as we're being. I mean, you called it out. You've seen it. Like, it's different, right? And that takes courage, which I can't take credit for. That is the Boyles wanting to bring the edge back that they created for this brand. And so that is one of the hardest in any corporate environment. That is one of the hardest things to overcome. And it's a benefit that we have being a publicly traded company that is still run by the family, is they had the courage to do that. But the other piece of it is being thoughtful with how we're poking the bear and how we're being different so that it's true to our heritage and it pays off what ultimately our consumers really care about, which is inspiring them to go outside and making them feel safe doing so. Mm-hmm. We have, we're working on campaigns, for next spring, not this spring, because we're basically in this spring. Mm-hmm. And we have consumer research and insights data that suggests that almost 20% of U.S. consumers now, because of how much more extreme the weather is with climate change, avoid going outside in the summer because they'll be uncomfortable and they don't know how to stay cool, right? And that's a perfect example of where we can use our fun storytelling to give them confidence that they can stay cool outside. Mm-hmm. Because we all know sort of intuitively the benefits to mental health and physical health by just going on a walk outside, let alone going on a hike. but that's going to continue to be challenged as the climate gets more extreme. And so that's one of the areas where we are really invested in using our platform to just keep people going outside and loving the outdoors, for so many reasons.
I am currently not one of those people who loves the outdoors, although I know I need to get out more. It's so cold. And I'm a winter
I bet
baby,
you like going on walks around the city though, right?
I mean, sometimes, but not all the time. I'm Matt, I'm a New Yorker. We don't like to do it unless we have to do it. And especially around the holidays when there's so many tourists around, I'm like, no, get off the sidewalk or move to the side. And then there's rules. Like silent rules. So, it's 2026. We're about to go into Milano Cortina 2026, the Winter Olympics. You're going to be outfitting the curling team. Talk to us about that.
Oh, we're so excited. We've had a long standing relationship with the U.S. curling team. Mm-hmm. And, we wait for this moment every 4 years. And we just, I think a month ago, just released our latest look, an official uniform for the team. And it is just, we're really excited with it this year. And with that, we tie with that, we outfit them and we have our official uniform for the team. And we also create a collection that our consumers can participate in and be a part of, which is mirroring the design of the official, high performance gear. Mm-hmm. Everything from hats to like a really cool fleece. I wish I was wearing it right now. And then we have an opportunity to actually do some really fun content with them throughout the Winter Olympics. And it lets us be a part of that conversation and highly present in the branding. In fact, Wicked did a campaign for tying into curling and the U.S. Olympics. And our brand was front and center in their ad. Because of our sponsorship of the team. And it's just a really great way for us to reinforce that we're a part of that community and will continue to be.
So going into 2026, so right now you guys are focused on Olympics. What else should we be looking forward to this year as far as brand strategy, what you guys got cooking?
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited that we're talking because it means that we've captured your attention and your imagination with our campaign, right? And 2026 is about just turning that into an always on drumbeat of those ads, of those stunts, and turning that into the new normal where Columbia is top of mind for you. And for all our consumers, there are a few things that we're really excited about this year, and one of them is Robert Irwin. So our lovely winner of Dancing with the Stars, he swept the nation, and talk about a cool story. Robert's mother is from Eugene, Oregon, which is just down the road from us a couple hours. And Robert has had a lifelong relationship with Columbia. There's a picture of him with Gert Boyle in our conference room downstairs when he's 4 years old and has a bowl cut. And they're Oregonians. And what better person to talk about the love of Mother Nature and the outdoors and the creatures of the outdoors than Robert Irwin? And what better person to demonstrate that gear works in extreme environments? That man is trudging through swamps with alligators, in the desert, in the zoo, out on mountain ranges, in the Sahara. And so we just kind of kicked off the partnership with him this fall. But 2026 is when you'll start seeing a lot more with Columbia and Robert Irwin, seeing him in our gear, seeing him go on adventures, and some really funny ads that will be out there. So I'd say that especially the first half of this year is something that we're just really, really excited about, because we don't, the benefit of having such a heritage in this brand is that we don't typically just chase the latest thing. We're super intentional with our partnerships, and they all have some genuine connection to the mission and the story of Columbia. And Robert is the epitome of that. And so we're just really excited about it.
That's amazing. I look forward to it. I know he's got moves, and we'll see how he moves in the Columbia Sportswear. See how he moves in the gear. Please do not hang him from a helicopter. I will not be okay. Oh my God. Well, I think that I unless there's anything else, I think I'm satisfied. But please, if you've got more to share, by all means, because that was a pretty strong way to close it out. But if you got more, give it to me.
Well, you know what? The only thing I'll say is because I'm like, you're talking about not being an outdoors person, right? But I do like. I believe everyone is, and it's just what's the definition of outdoors, right? So, I've spent 6 years in New York, so I know the New York life, and I'm gonna challenge you that I'll give you the perfect outdoors gear for you, which is called the Amaze Puff jacket. And out of all the things we were planning or hoping would really take off, the thing we've been blown away about as a brand, as a company, from a product standpoint this fall, was a launch and basically sell out of this red hot puffer jacket that we created that was designed by women for women, short, mid, and long cut. So, I'm
a long girl, because the way this winter has been treating my body is just wrong. It's just wrong. The wind has been absolutely disrespectful. It's just not. It's not a fun time outside right now. I after I came in on New Year's, that was it. I was like, I'm not leaving the house until after Monday. That's when I was. I
know it's New York winter.
Although earlier today, our editorial director, Steve Barrett, he showed pictures of this gorgeous waterfall in Iceland. And I was like, oh, that's beautiful. So you know what? I think it was the perfect time leading up to this interview. So between that and talking to you, you might get me outside. So thanks.
Well, I'll send you a code.
Thanks, Matt.
But seriously, I mean, the thing that's cool about this thing is, because our design team who wears the products, and, you're walking through a city and you're carrying your purse, you're carrying other things, your phone, whatever, limited pockets, and you're all bundled up, right? Because you're in the cold, and then you want to pop into a store real quick, and you have to take off your jacket, hold it awkwardly with everything else. The Amaze Puff jacket is the most beautiful thing, but it also has these straps, like backpack straps built into it. So you can just pop it off while you're in the store, and it hangs in a really convenient way, and you don't have to take it off. You don't have to hold it. It's little things like that make a product sing.
Oh, respect.
And I think you'll like it. That's why I'm like, I really, attire. And I'm going to convert you. You'll be an outdoor consumer with that.
It's a bold claim, Matt. It's a bold claim, but I respect it. Okay. Well, thank you once again for making the time. This has been fun, and keep up the great work, because I've been thoroughly enjoying these campaigns. It's been fun to see, and seeing Tim dive all in. It's been thoroughly entertaining, and I appreciate you.
Oh, well, we appreciate that, because if you like that, that means we're starting to do something right. So.
Oh, yeah. And I look forward to seeing all the other good stuff you got going on, and go Team USA.
Yes.
And Team Columbia.
We done?